Gentlelady from Kansas, Ms. Davids, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. And thank you to Secretary Rollins for being here today. The USDA plays a vital role in Kansas and across the country, supporting our rural producers, ensuring affordable food, and protecting the safety of our food systems. Americans rely on USDA every single day, whether they realize it or not. When they fill their grocery carts, when they grab milk from the fridge or drive past farmland that feeds their communities. And this is why I'm deeply alarmed by what I consider to be reckless and unjust firings carried out by DOGE and the ripple effects that we are seeing in our communities. Because these firings don't just affect federal workers, they threaten food safety, they stall critical research in places like Kansas State University, and they leave farmers and ranchers without the support that they depend on. We can't talk about shared values of improving government efficiency while simultaneously pulling the rug out from the very people who keep our food supply running. You can't eliminate good-paying, skilled jobs in Kansas City at the same time that our producers are already facing droughts, volatile markets from reckless tariffs, and rising costs. And this is not just a policy issue, it's very personal to the folks at home. The Kansas City Metro is home to about 30,000 federal workers, including many of the USDA's Economic Research Service and National Institute of Food and Agriculture. These are neighbors, their families, friends, and certainly they deserve better than chaos. Meanwhile, we're seeing new emerging threats. We have already discussed today a bit about the New World screwworm, which poses a serious risk to Kansas livestock and even to human health. Mm-hmm. And I'm very proud to co-sponsor the bipartisan Stop Screwworms Act because we definitely need to be proactive on this. And at the same time, I am deeply concerned about the USDA staffing cuts at the National Bio and Agro Defense Facility in Manhattan, Kansas. It's the nation's first biosafety level 4 lab for livestock. It was built to protect us from the worst animal diseases. And I understand that 28 employees were fired on a single day. Then later, some of those firings were walked back. A similar situation unfolded at the Food Safety and Inspection Service. That kind of instability certainly shakes the foundation of the USDA's mission and puts our food supply, our economy, and the public trust at risk. So, Secretary Rollins, I'm curious, were the firings a clerical mistake, or did someone have second thoughts about the initial decision to fire these specific people at the National Bio-Agro Defense Facility?
Well, there was a lot there, but let me answer that last question first. There were no firings. There was a probation period. They were all brought back. I worked with the senators from your state to ensure that was the case. So if you are hearing differently, will you please let our office know? But it is my understanding that all of that was unfrozen almost immediately and put back into place.
So I guess the concern is that we've heard about the New World screwworm already.
Right.
During that time, I think the bird flu was one of the bigger concerns that was being kind of mainstream talked about, spreading throughout the country. There are other potential animal diseases. How could the National Bio and Agro Defense Facility, or even like our Food Safety and Inspection Service, even be part of the chopping block in the first place? Was there not any discussion about how those decisions were going to be made? The fact that people were at the facility on one day, told to leave and then told to come back, is, especially at these specific facilities that are meant to protect us from some of the worst animal diseases that could spread to humans. I'm just curious how that even happened.
It clearly was an imperfect process, but one that we moved to rectify within hours, if not days. One thing I want to make sure you understand, though, is when President Trump, when we left in the first administration, USDA had about 90,000 employees. When we came back 4 years later, we had 112,000 employees. So working again to realign and refocus and understanding what the priorities are, there is no question that the priority of whether New World screwworm or HPAI, keeping our food supply safe and secure for the world, ensuring our farmers are put first, continues to be a priority, and my commitment is to ensure that is so. So if you are hearing anything differently, please reach out to me directly and we will work to rectify it as we've been doing.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you.